Like, you don't need to be a guitar player. I mean, I use a guitar because I'm used to it, but anybody who's got a string instrument. And you know, one of the things with ancient Indian music to help keep yourself centered, to keep yourself in meditation, is this concept of a drone. No matter what's going on melodically, there's always a consistent drone. And that's how a sitar works, right? I mean, you play some things, but there's a bunch of strings underneath that are always vibrating no matter what you hit, and they're always playing the same notes. And that drone is hypnotic no matter what you're playing. And it speeds up the process. You know, when you're trying to teach somebody meditation for the first time, you're trying to get them to sit still and pay attention to their body parts, pay attention to their breath. And you can almost bypass all of that, I found, when you have things sonically. And that may be me personally. You know, and I've seen monks, they'll hit a bell every now and then at random intervals to get people so their minds aren't wandering, to remind them they're back on task. And I know with my family, when I was a kid, we'd have these cool ceremonies where people would be jamming out music while we're all chanting and praying. And it'd be somebody's job to hit the bell constantly. There'd be some drums going off and a bell constantly. And it really does help you keep with it and not get caught up in your mind going in all sorts of random places, waiting for it to tire out before you can actually control it. So, without going into a crazy guitar lesson, I'll pick up here because you can use some open strings. So there's always this concept of a drone, which is, so when I'm doing my meditations with a guitar, I will keep this note almost solid. And with scales, there's always a root note. And another thing in meditative type of Indian music is one big key is no matter where you're wandering around in the song, you can frequently go back to that root note. And I mean, I guess how I look at it when I'm meditating and doing this, it's almost like, you know, when you're breathing and you always come back to that point where you're gonna take another breath or expel another breath, right? It's some reference point that again keeps you grounded, right? So we'll run through this drone. So this is my main note. And I can wander around on whatever scale I pick as long as I keep this drum going and come back to that note. I'm already spacing myself out. And what's really cool about this is you'll end up in meditation for hours and you'll have no idea. And I have no idea what I'm playing once I get to a certain zone. And I've set up a tape recorder. I'm like, oh, I got a whole song done, right? And it's really cool. And this helps the writing process as well. And the point of getting to the deep waters where the big fish are, I've really found just kind of noodling around on the scale and keeping that drone helps me get there really quickly.